The big industries of today and tomorrow, technology, engineering and science, but are Māori being left behind? This is rākau, a Māori martial art, but with a twist.
The goal, if you're on the GoPro, is to make sure that when the person is doing their swing, you can see the entire rākau, okay?
These tauira Māori are getting schooled in physics.
This exercise, we're trying to analyse the speed that the rākau is moving at, so the velocity of it as it hits the po.
That was great.
Prior to Pūhoro, I was not too interested in physics. I feel like learning physics in a classroom is just a lot of paperwork and a lot of bookwork.
Wānanga like these run by Pūhoro STEM Academy are changing that by teaching science through mātauranga Māori. Along with the rākau, maths and coding is taught by weaving tukutuku.
Do you like maths?
No.
Is it better to learn maths this way? Do you prefer it?
Yes, very much prefer it to learn this way.
The largest indigenous STEM academy in the world, Pūhoro has been guiding rangatahi Māori into careers in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, or STEM for short, since 2016. Māori students often fall short in NCEA, achieving 10% below the average, but not these students. They're achieving NCEA levels at rates higher than non-Māori.
Breastplate? Oh, rawe. No, very good. Well done. Science, STEM, is nothing new to who they are as a Māori. We know and understand that their ancestors were incredible astronomers, navigators, engineers of the highest order, biochemists, healers. It's in their whakapapa, it's in their DNA.
So why then are participation rates for Māori in STEM so low, only 2%?
We know that the industry is representing at about 2%. In technology, it's about 4.8% overall. So we want to make sure that we're keeping those pathways in education open for our rangatahi further downstream in high school and through that transition period into higher education.
It helps when others have paved the way, like Waikato University's only Māori engineering lecturer.
It's hard to see yourself in a place where there are no other Māori, and so I had a few role models, but not all rangatahi Māori have parents or uncles or aunties that are engineers.
Have you always felt that you can bring your Māori culture into these spaces?
In some places, no. And I think that's the blunt, the honest truth of that. Some engineering industries just aren't ready or interested.
Mahonri Owen is developing brain-controlled prosthetics to help amputees.
When people see the name of my research project, they think Luke Skywalker controlling a hand.
In the early days, I figured out maybe 100 ways not to make a prosthetic hand. So I'm really good at knowing what not to do. We're working in the space where you control them from biological signals. So that could be from muscles, from the brain, and then to use those signals to bring back some quality of life. And that might just be being able to hold your child's hand again.
And he's bringing the next generation along with him.
I'm more interested to see if it can do the tripod pinch.
He introduced himself to me as a mechanical engineer, and I thought, oh, wow, amazing. Another engineer, a Māori engineer in industry.
Luke August is following in Mahonri's footsteps.
He kind of showed me a different path, a more humanitarian side of engineering, which I really enjoyed.
He never dreamt he'd end up doing this kind of mahi.
When I was a kid, my dream job, if I could pick anything, was to be the guy on the back of the rubbish truck who ran around and picked up the rubbish bags. But it wasn't until I found Pūhoro through one of the first wānanga. We did this engineering challenge. My team ended up coming first. My kaihotu asked me, he said, have you thought about engineering? I was like, oh, what's engineering? And he said, this is engineering. So that kind of set me down the path.
It wasn't easy. He was one of only a handful of Māori studying engineering.
It was a little bit disheartening to start with because none of my lecturers through my entire degree were Māori. So it almost felt like they didn't really understand where I was coming from.
Coming through Pūhoro at the same time was Kahungunu dental student Alice Boyd.
I think it's so important to have a wide range of people in healthcare, and I think without Māori in healthcare, Māori patients won't be treated with the respect they deserve and won't get the care they need.
From failing her first year of medicine to now in her final year on placement.
Me personally, I'd love to work with children so they don't have to have these teeth extracted or ruin their smiles at such a young age. And I think, yeah, I'd love to drive a little bus around or something and help the Māori children specifically.
Luke and Alice both share a desire to make change.
Māori in Pacifica are highly disproportionate in their rates of amputation, particularly diabetic foot amputation. One thing that people don't often consider as engineers is embodiment. So how they feel about the prosthetic. So where it connects to the wrist,
when it clicks in.
Whether it feels a part of them or whether it feels a bit alien to them. That's a really big focus of, I guess, what my research is looking at.
Mātauranga Māori and science together is a catalyst for new ideas.
For a while now, we've been working with a lot of 3D printing. It makes them cheaper, more available, and we can actually start individualizing some of our solutions or our hands to people. One thing we're looking at now is to have harakeke-based filaments to create these prosthetic hands.
Imagine we harvest harakeke from your whenua, and then we process it, turn it into a hand. Would feel a lot stronger of a connection to that prosthetic. It's got the Māori of your whenua. It'll help improve the acceptance rate of prosthetics.
Luke is also strong in his conviction that Mātauranga Māori holds value.
Just because our science wasn't written down, it was passed down orally through activity and tikanga, yeah, 100%, it's science. We're sort of at this nexus where we're trying to make it more recognised within Western academia instead of it being up here in this mystical space.
And this generation have no problem blending the two knowledge systems, leaving the future in safe hands.